Speaking of bones and other monster drops, I made an additional chest here and, did the usual ritual to get it connected. I moved all the monster drops to it because I figured it'd probably be filling up. And I used up a stack of bones, but you can see I have a decent amount of junk in here. And all these arrows. Just gonna make up some more blue alloy ingots here. I know what you're saying, you still haven't automated any of this red power alloy nonsense. You should probably get on that, Yeah, brass is used for some stuff, some alloy ingots, and maybe just request cables. That'd be kind of cool, but, these furnaces are kind of a pain, so maybe I don't want to bother right now. And really, it's hard to pass up, all this free energy I just get from solar panels up there. Let's go over to Mr. Project Table. I'm gonna want maybe... There you go, 60, that's not bad. I guess that was a lot of wool to get just for that. Oh, whatever, I'll use it for bundled cable or some other junk. The fact of the matter is, that's a really awkward improvisation I just had to do. I mean, I never would have thought of something like that normally. Taking, let's automate the flax seeds and turn the string into wool. I never would have thought of that, except I don't have any sheep here, and I wanted a large amount of wool without having to break my back, and, so that's pretty sweet. And sure, I could put a teleport pipe over here and a supplier pipe right on here and tell it to keep some bone meal stocked. And oh look, there goes my last bone meal. And if I told it to do that, it would just go through all the bones that it has. Well, that's interesting. If you leave it going, it just grabs the seeds. Doesn't always get one though. So I'm just going to turn it off. So for the time being, if I want a massive amount of wool, just come fill this thing up with bone meal and, leave it for a bit. Which I did, and I'm very happy with this thing, and I also made it look nice and pretty. So that's great. So what did I want all this junk for? All this alloy wire for? Well, I'm going to show you. I grabbed some bat boxes. Now I am going to get the juice from this small area here, and I'm going to try and get it to the other side of my UCB. So I'm going to have to run this cable under the ground here. Let's see, where's a good location? I'm going to have to be careful where I run this guy. Because, there's all sorts of random junk underground here. Because you know how many basements I build. Oh, look! I can see through the world again. That's great. Yeah, if you're wondering, I'm using a kind of older version of Optifine. When I update all my mods, I'll use a newer version of Optifine, and that shouldn't happen. Oh, look! Uranium. That's great. And again, I'm either waiting for Rocket Science to be updated, or if it isn't, I'm just gonna, find myself a replacement energy source or 3. So I'm gonna have to dig around here, and I'm not quite sure how far I need to go. But if I keep going in this direction, I should run into something. Aha! Here's something. Ah, yeah. Stick around this. Okay, broke through. So now that I dug that, the only thing else I need to do is run this cable down here. It's just for fun. Let's put bat boxes along the way. Expand the amount of energy the system can hold anyway. And there you go. I'm going to get a battery box with a little bit of juice in it. Now why do I want a battery box with some juice in it? Now this generator I need to put down. So I need to have it sending energy to my MFSU. Where did my fusion reactor go? My isotopic separators are also gone. Where'd all my rocket science junk go? Oh, this chest's still here though. With the provider and polymorphic. Oh, I know what happened. I removed rocket science. Goodbye, jerk. Let's just double check. Let's look at this chest that I put all of the rocket science stuff in before I updated. Yep, it's empty. Empty chest. Empty green chest. Are they supposed to be green when you break them? Never seen that before. That's right, no more liquid hand vacs that kinda work. No more fusion reactor that I have to get this junk over here going for. And no more preventing me from updating to the newest version of mods. Hooray! Hooray! As a matter of fact, I actually did do a ton of updates since, I hadn't played in a while. You may have noticed, hey, you haven't put up a video in like 2 weeks, what crap. Yeah, I was playing on a server with a bunch of new mods. Got spoiled with the betas of Fieldcrafted Forestry. But anyway, I don't have those on here. But anyway, I updated all my other mods that I could, and I added about 3 new mods, which you will see in the near future. But for now, I need to get some energy generation going on to this thing because he is not getting any more power. So if I bust through here right now, come out here, it looks like I am using this side. For shame. Which means if I want to put any input on this sucker, I'm going to have to put it on one of the visible sides. So, guess can't be helped. Jeez, I forgot how terrible my frame rate was on here when I was recording. Oh, but logistics pipes, I missed you. 12 cables. Just fall there on my face. Boom. Awesome. Run this right here. Whoa. Glitchy glitch. Ooh, Philosopher's Stone crafting table. Missed that too. Painter. Red painter. Die, squid, get off my stuff. I'm gonna temporarily bust these cables up. Remember, those are cables. They're not cables. And see, look, it's connecting to it because that's a cable. I love how that works. So this junk is high voltage. I like to label high voltage red. Let's put one right here and label it green. So I like to label my input cables green. Green. Right? Not touching anything. Green. Bring Mr. Green cable all the way over here. Now I'm going to put Mr. Generator right here. Yeah, I don't like that. Color it green before I forget. Throw the generator here. Alright? Yeah, that's nice. Now, this generator is kind of far away from that other thing, but basically I need a filter. Put this filter over that way. This thing doesn't have an inventory, that should be fine. Anyway, run this all the way over to the bottom of this generator. I'm going to switch these tubes to redstone tubes. Jacket wire here. Timer here, about 30 seconds. So, every 30 seconds, this sucker will check to see if there's a filled fuel can in here. And if there is, it'll take it. It'll put it in the bottom of this generator. This generator will generate energy and put it into the MFSU. Now, you may be saying, that's great and all, but how are you going to get that empty fuel can out of the bottom of this generator? It's already attached to a pneumatic tube. Well, I used pneumatic tubes and not Buildcraft for a reason. Because with pneumatic tubes, I can pull out of that bottom slot, even though there's already a tube there, if I get a special object, which I don't have the materials for yet. However, in between episodes, I thought of a way to get the materials, and I will now do it. Now, before I do that, I installed a new mod, and I am going to use this to get around a bit easier. I just need an ender pearl, 5 iron ingots, 1 diamond, and 2 obsidian to make the portal gun. Ooh, that sounds cool. I wonder what this thing does. Whoa. Sweet! Whee! Whee! Ow! Yeah, don't do that. That could kill you, except I have quantum suit boots. Anyway, if you're a fan of the game Portal, and if you are, then nerd alert. But whether you are or aren't, the portal gun in Minecraft is something you can use just for a nice convenience factor. You can throw down a blue portal down there and throw down Mr. Red right over here and check it out. You can just go right through it. And now the reason why these images you see, they're static, you see? It apparently took at the moment of me shooting the portal, but it's to save graphics, okay? You can make these not show anything, or I chose to do a static image, just so that I remember where it is, but I don't have to take the extra processing power that I just do not have. So it's great, I can just go back and forth through this as many times as I want. This is beautiful. Oh, wow, look at that junk. That's thoroughly creepy. Does not look like that. What do you expect? It's the cheap graphics version that I chose. Anyway, that's a nice convenience factor. Because I want quick access to this project table. So I'm going to come up here, I'm going to grab about as much scrap as I can hold. Blue portal. Put a bunch of scrap in here. And I could automate this, but for right now, this is acceptable. I'm going to take it, and I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 9 scrap, and get a scrap box. And I'm going to take 1, And I'm going to take a bunch. And I'm going to take a bunch more. And now I have a little over 3 stacks of something called Scrap Box. Now what you do with the Scrap Box, or old Scrappy as I'm going to call them, is you grab one up and you right click and you get a random item. This time, it's dirt. It's kind of lame. But you know, you just hold down to get a bunch of random junk. Oh, look at that. I got a cake, there's some dusts, and a bunch of red. It's not a minecart? That's great, a minecart. That's lame, but whatever. So, you know, pretty soon the world fills up with items that are junk, and I'm not getting what I need. Come on, you piece of crap. Aha, I got it. Oh, good lord, look at all this junk. There's gotta be some stuff in here. Okay, I obviously don't want these wooden tools. Briny deeps. Screw those. Oh, look at this beautiful junk. Grass blocks. Yes! Not what I wanted, but I'll hold on to them. Throw this junk that knows where to go into my sorting system. The dusts. Now those don't really know where to go. Coal dust might. Ooh, a plant ball. That's kind of cool. This thing really doesn't know what to do with these dusts, so I'm going to have to manually, you know, tell them what for. And you may notice that now when I mouse over stuff, it says, hey, look, they have an EMC value of this much. Well, that is new in this version of Equivalent Exchange, which I have updated to. There are a lot of bug fixes, a lot of exploit removals. Thank you. And now this EMC tooltip thing. That's pretty nice. So if something has an EMC value, you no longer have to memorize them and put them in the transmutation table and try to figure them out. You know, whatever. Cake has an EMC value of 411. That's pretty cool. And, you know, while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and put this cake down in my house, and I can just have a little piece whenever I'm hungry. It's great. So, the cake is not a lie. Oh, and I can move it with the portal gun. That's great. And put it in my basement. That's creepy. Anyway, a golden helmet, which I could put in a blue electric alloy furnace and get some gold ingots out. That's nice. Same thing for the minecarts, which you may notice they're stacking, and that's because I have a new mod installed called Railcraft. And, yeah, it's pretty interesting. But one of the things it does is it lets you stack minecarts, up to 3. So I've got some more scrap boxes, but I got what I needed. I got 1 piece of leather. Ooh, leather. Now, another new feature of Equivalent Exchange is that you could go look up the recipe of something in NEI, and this little question mark button, which was previously only available for vanilla crafting tables, is now available for the Philosopher's Stone. So, fill in the recipe. Boom, retriever. Let's throw this single-use battery in here. Oh, look at that, it ate it up. That's cute. Anyway, so this retriever, which I am going to put here, will reorient to face that direction and connect with some redstone tubes so that this thing will get the signal as well. This thing is able to retrieve anything on this pneumatic tube network out of any of the connected inventories, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell this sucker that it is to pull out empty fuel cans and only empty fuel cans. And the only time that this should be possible is right here at the bottom of this when it comes an empty fuel can. So say if I put an empty fuel can here, and of course run a power cord over to it because it requires some energy, as you can see. When this thing gets its redstone signal once every 30 seconds, it'll say, hey, let's bump that down to 10. Do you have an empty fuel can for me? Oh, you do. Thank you very much. Well, then I'll just put it in the bottom of this canning machine, and it will start canning it. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. This is so beautiful. Look at this junk. That's great. So now it's going to take these biofuel cells, which I'm automatically getting from all the excess plants, and it'll turn them into filled fuel cans. This thing will by and by. Pull it out, you jerk. What are you doing? Well, in theory, this thing should pull out the fuel can, although it's not doing it. I had this working in a test world, though. I'll figure it out. Anyway, so this thing's going to give this guy right here some filled fuel cans, and I don't know why it's not working at the moment, but I'll fix it. So, I can expand this system by adding more generators. One canning machine is probably going to be sufficient, especially since I don't have an infinite amount of those biofuel cells. But yeah, all I really have to do to this system is add additional tubes and generators, and connect the generators to the power. Throw a little green on these. And I'll be right back when I go to my test world and figure out why this filter isn't pulling it out. it might be the back. Alright, so one test world later, I found out that yes, you do need to put this on the back of the machine. So I reran the cable to just go right here. I actually ended up saving myself a bunch of cable, and I'm just going to run this redstone tube right here. When that ticks, here it comes. Filled fuel can. Hooray! And into the generator. Now, it then becomes empty. It's retrieved and goes back into here for refilling. And it looks like it actually has an extra one, which just means it'll work a little bit faster. Although, it doesn't look like it's receiving those biofuel cells as quickly as it should. Now, it found its way into this one, again, but, you know, these things don't stack, so if it gets another one, it'll send it over here. And it looks like it just got another one. So here it comes. This one has not yet been used, and into the second generator. Let's just double check this. We should not be receiving 20 EU per tick. Hooray! And here we go. We're getting some juice into this thing. Not a ton, but, you know, it's something. Alright? And it'll get those plant balls. It'll get rid of them. Look like they're filling up with scrap. I wonder why that is. They break something important. Would you look at that? I've got these timers very, very close to each other. That is sort of a waste, isn't it? Give me that. Alright, so timer right here on 10 seconds. Timer consolidation. Nice. Let's just fill this junk in. This system is working. Let's just fill this floor in and never look at this thing again. There you go. Biofuel cells. Maybe I should tell this to keep more of them stocked. 6 is how many you want, right? How about I take one of these? Try to keep 12. Partial requests, yes. Cover this junk back up. And there's just a little hole in the floor now. I suppose I could fill that up with construction foam. Wouldn't be the prettiest thing, but at least it wouldn't be a gaping hole. So just right-click this guy. Boom, that hurt. Look at that, new texture. Yeah, you may have noticed that some of my textures are different. And that's because I updated my texture pack, you know, Faithful 32. And specifically with the industrial craft textures. I mean, you may notice this MFSU is different than it was before. Several of these things are different. I mean, I know these cables look slightly different. I think better. So anyway, I guess this little guy will just have to hang out here. On the plus side, I could just request some stuff. You notice my peat is slowly going up. There we go. And I'm going to throw Mr. Generator right here. And then throw some peat in him. Why not? I've got an excess, and that looks kind of cool. Little plus 10 EU per tick there. Oh yeah, these are definitely slowly getting used up. I'm happy about that. Now they don't just stick around. Now I've got a little bit of excess energy generation from all the excess plants I have. That turned out a little bit better than I thought it would. And let's face it, does a lot of work for something that may not be the most efficient thing. You know, not the most efficient use of stuff, but whatever. I mean, it's certainly better than just burning reeds. To be continued. This thing will by and by. Pull it out, you jerk. What are you doing?